All right, so we got a celebrity guest hiding behind the rack there. Philly Flipper on walnut.
On walnut. Philly Flipper on walnut.
Do I dare plug this thing in? What the heck? Let's try to plug him in. He's horrifying. Hey guys, all right, so we got a celebrity guest hiding behind the rack there. But guys, we're gonna be selling in the warehouse this week.
Is this for YouTube?
For YouTube, yeah.
I've never been on YouTube.
Yeah, he's a YouTube noob here.
Hi,
No,
YouTube.
giant YouTube channel.
Go Birds.
Go Birds, absolutely.
Birds.
All Philly in the house. So we're gonna be selling the warehouse starting today. This is gonna come out. Well, I don't know if this is coming out tonight or tomorrow, but Monday, August 11th through Friday, every day on Paul's Whatnot channel. Philly Flipper on walnut.
On
walnut.
Philly Flipper on walnut.
I had this walnut on the mind. On Whatnot, Paul's Whatnot channel, giving out deals. Everything starting at $1. We got like 6 racks of vintage toys, vintage sports memorabilia. Everything starting at $1. Head over there now. Paul's going to have some great deals and going to be selling all week.
Don't miss it.
Yeah, you want to be there, guys. All right, guys. So this video is part 2 in my series where I'm trying to empty out this warehouse. And a big part of this plan, as I alluded to in the beginning here, is that Paul the Philly Flipper, who used to have this warehouse, this used to be his warehouse before he moved to Florida. And I will say, a lot of people in comments or other YouTubers say, why is he still the Philly Flipper? Why isn't he the Florida Flipper? He lives in Florida. Hey, when you're Philly, born and bred, you're Philly forever. So he's going to be the Philly Flipper forever. But in this video, again, that's a big part of the clearing the warehouse, is Paul selling tons of stuff this week. Starting tomorrow, Monday, August 11th through Friday. He's going to sell all day. He's got max shipping each day. So you're only going to spend $9 and change. You can make big piles. You're only going to pay that $9 and hopefully you buy a lot. If you're a collector, there's going to be great pieces to buy as a collector. If you're a reseller, there's going to be great deals. So definitely tune in for all week. We're going to have some great toys, memorabilia, you name it. There's some banger lots that they put together, some great items. So cards, memorabilia, signed pieces, rare toys, 19th century items. So it's going to be a great ephemera, you name it, it'll be in there. But that's not this whole video. The rest of the video is going to be me delving into different aspects of the warehouse, pulling some items out, sort of talking about a couple genres of items here. Sold some pieces that I pull out in this video, so you'll see what I sold them for at the end. Stay tuned for that. Hope you enjoy. Thanks for watching. All right, so back at it, trying to clear the warehouse here. Decided to do today, I went through these bats, and I pulled 7 out that I'm going to photograph, clean up first, polish up, get them listed online. So I'll take you through them, but here we have a Louisville Slugger. Let me spin it around, make this easier. First up, Louisville Slugger, 125 powerized. Interesting marking. I think it's probably Washington Lee University. I'm not sure what the 22 is, to be honest. But that's like a pro stock bat. Next up, this is one of the brands of bats to look out for. This one's a little bit later, but a Hannah Batright. If you ever see and I've had them many times, but the Hannah Batright bats with the logo with a bat in the center here around the name, those are the real ones that you want to find. This is DiMaggio style, so it's still a decent bat. Next, just your classic Louisville Slugger, 125 power, flame tempered Mickey Mantle K55. It doesn't look like much now, but I will show you that cleaned up. Hilliard and Bradsby H&B Babe Ruth model. So this is a later style bat, but again, Babe Ruth always sells, even though it's a little bit more modern. I sold these bats many times before, but this is a bat from the teens. This was an old dead stock, like old barn find, but Ty Cobb baseball bat. They always have some damage. Again, these were, I think, sold at like minor league stadiums. So that's a good one. That was actually, even though it's in rough shape, it has that wormhole or whatever. It's still better than most of the bats you find for this type of bat. Then we have a 40 BD, oil-tempered Bill Dickey bat. This one has heavy wooded staining. We have a 40 JC, powerized and bone rubbed. Joe Cronin, heavy water damage on there. I'll see how that cleans up. It'll look better, but it's not going to be perfect. And that was it. So that's a group of 7. Let's show you them cleaned up. All right, so here's the 7 bats cleaned up. The top bat, the Ty Cobb bat, I didn't do my normal cleanup on. I didn't want that to have like a polished up look. I wanted that. It's a barn find. Should look like it came out of a barn. So I did leave that one pretty much untouched. The rest of it, got them all cleaned up, polished up. So again, the Bill Dickey, not the strongest markings on the Dickey, but still a nice bat. The Cronin, that's a very good bat, bone rub, powerized. But again, the end has damage. Does look a lot better now than it did before. The Bat Right DiMaggio, the beautiful Mickey Mantle, 36-inch K55, nice wood grain on that one. Washington Lee University, college game used bat, Babe Ruth safe hit, H&B, and the Ty Cobb bat. I'm gonna get them photographed and listed, and I'll show you some of those listings at the end of the video. All right, next up, and if I look sweaty, it's like 110 degrees in the warehouse here in the summer, but I'm gonna go through my glove death pile here. I bought a lot of these gloves because I used to sell these in bulk to someone who actually would use vintage gloves to make wallets. So I wouldn't sell them the high-end gloves. I would keep that stuff in my stock, in my inventory. But I've accumulated a ton, and then they stopped buying. So I'm going to go through, pull the better stuff, pull like 20 gloves out that I'm going to take to the National with me. And then whatever's left after the National, I will put in my antique shop. So let's get them pulled, and I'll show you them cleaned up. All right, so definitely some good gloves in here. So here we have in a little 40s buckle back. I'll take that guy. Gonna see if I can make it. Maybe Pee Wee Reese. I gotta check that one a little closer, but number 1 I'll take. This is an early one, has some damage, but it's a left-handed thrower. I think that's a Draper and Maynard. Full web. Those were never gloves. They would have went to the glove maker. This one has some wear to the, that one's a little too much wear to bring with me. Put that one over there. Buddy Nair McGregor Goldsmith, maybe on that one. All right, so I decided to pull 15 out. The first group you saw, I forget where they were, but this was one of them. This was one, the buckle back. That one there, I don't think I showed you this one earlier. Cool T-bar, Wilson brand. A couple first baseman's mitts. Fletcher on that one. Another interesting one here. That's a Babe Dahlgren. That's an early one. Buckle back. A Frank Rube catcher's mitt. Smaller size, but this is called a Decker patent. That was a piece of leather they would put on top of glove. Catcher's mitts mainly, but some other gloves. First baseman's mitts. To protect players from the Ty Cobb style spikes up slide. So that would protect the catcher's fingertips when he's applying a tag. That's a good one. Got a little Dunkert brand red Schoendienst on that one. Another first baseman mitt. Is that Ferris Fiend? I forget. I gotta clean that one up to see. Nice shape though. Wally Moon. I think that's a Rawlings. Hutch, first baseman's mitt. Another catcher's mitt. It's just a nice looking mitt. That one I need to clean up to identify. Another one here. BLS brand, Ed Miller. That one's cool because even though it doesn't help it has a cool like high school model name. It's just cool. And then a smaller catcher's mitt here. So again, that's that 15. I will get them cleaned up, get them tagged. All right, so here they are. So I separated them actually 2 piles. So I went with 10 gloves I'm going to bring to the National. These are them cleaned up. Baseman mitt, catcher's mitt, another first baseman's mitt. There's a nice buckle back. base mitt, catcher's mitt. That's a Hutch base mitt, Tinker brand, and then McGregor with the patent. So there we go. So that group going to go to the National with me. If they don't sell, which I don't expect them all to sell, and if they don't, then I'll either photograph them or put them in my antique shop. But these are just going to put right in my shop. See this one here, the BLS brand. Nice condition on that one. This one's an early glove, but it's a rough shape, especially in the lining. Another catcher's mitt. And the Rawlings. Nice Rawlings Wally Moon. So that group will go in the antique shop, get them tagged, get it all tagged up. So those are from the glove pile. And another thing amongst the pile of mayhem here is this pile of, most of these are going to be Hickory shaft clubs. So my goal, I'm going to take 10 of these out, clean them up, get these tagged for my antique shop. These sell really well in my antique shop, but they I haven't restocked it in a while. So somebody had these tagged initially. That was, they had a $100 tag on that. That is very high for this one. So, but still nice. There's, I think, 4 bags here of Hickory shaft clubs. The big thing to watch for early Hickory shaft clubs would be, and this is not an example of it, but unusual faces on the club head. So this one, really what you want to see, the earliest ones, they're going to be smooth. They don't have these striations, these markings. They're going to have a smooth face. This is not a smooth face. Smooth face is typically going to command a nice price if you find a smooth face. Smooth faces are definitely some of the earlier clubs, but they have very unusual ones like waffles, and there's all types of stuff. So these are more your standard Hickory shaft clubs. See if I can find a smooth face in here. This is actually a little smooth face here. So you can see there's no markings or indentations or patterning on that club head as compared to the other one. So this is definitely an earlier one. The leather wrap is, the leather grip is in rough shape. And I'm not sure if you can make out any markings on this, but it's definitely the better one of this group. So I'm going to get these cleaned up, get them tagged, get them in my antique shop. Actually, the next one I pulled out was another smooth face club. This one, far better condition. Very nice color on that one. It actually does have a legible maker's mark. And you can see that somebody had a pretty high tag on that back in the day. I think that's super high. I think all of these tags were super high when I bought this collection. I didn't pay these prices. It was like a buyout. I think I bought like 600 Hickory shaft clubs years ago. Sold the vast majority. This is just the remnants, these 4 bags of the clubs that I still have left over. All right, so got all the clubs cleaned up and tagged. The total tag value, just added them up, was $837. There's some better clubs in here than some lower end clubs at the end. These are all in price order here. The 4 best were definitely the smooth face. This was a Harry Vinyl brand smooth face. Another smooth face there. I think there's 4 smooth face altogether. They range from 120 to 65. Then there's some nice putters and the sort. So again, all priced up. They'll go in my shop tomorrow. All right, so you saw me with the golf clubs, the bats, the gloves. I'm gonna pick out another 5 large items. I think that's my goal. The large stuff, tougher to sell on live stream. Not impossible, but I'm gonna pick out 5 larger items right now and show you what I find. Let me just flip the camera around. So definitely gonna take this guy out of here. Gonna give him a little clean up. But he's a fiberglass, 3-dimensional cat in a hat. Pretty cool piece. Don't know what that's worth. I'll have to look it up. But again, I'm not gonna be shipping that guy, so we'll get him out in the shop. It's a pretty cool piece. Very large. Super Bowl 32, 1998. Metal sign. Miller Lite, got all the helmets on there. Again, you can hear him flipping around. He's a lightweight metal. Not shipping that guy. I'll put him in the shop. Take this big metal tray. It's like a wall hanging. Maybe it's not a wall hanging, but whatever it is, a big tray. Some sort of like medieval table scene. I'll put this out in the shop. And take this vintage metal and vinyl rocking chair. Pluto, Walt Disney. Needs a clean up. I will show you this guy cleaned up. Not in the best shape right now. Again, not something I want to ship. And this guy has some age to him. He's in not great shape, but it's an electric animatronic Santa Claus. Let's take him down and we'll show you him. So this guy is pretty horrifying. Looks like he's missing most of his beard. Pretty horrifying Santa Claus, but this thing is old. Let's see what he had on him back in the day. Santa Action 250. Again, he might have been in better shape back then. Probably. Do I dare plug this thing in? I don't think so. It's almost more of a Halloween decoration now than a Christmas decoration. What the heck? Let's try to plug him in. Let's see what it does. Oh my God, it works. I'm shocked. What a joyous Christmas decoration right there. He's horrifying. I mean, his head, he's like the Exorcist. But regardless, I'm going to get him cleaned up. He'll go out. I'm shocked it works. This thing has got to be 60s maybe? So we're going to get him out in the shop and cleaned up. And again, better shot of selling out there than sitting in the warehouse. Thanks for watching, guys. Again, tune in all week. Philly Flipper on Walnut. Here's the thumbnail that you'll see over on Whatnot right here. The link will be in the description below. I'm not going to be there every day. I have to work full time, unfortunately. But when I'm not working, I'll be over there helping Paul and his cousin Vita. And I already spent probably 20 hours over there this weekend, Friday, Saturday, and a little bit today, pulling items, sorting through items, amassing stuff for Paul to just pull and sell, starting at $1. So tune in on Whatnot. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe.